All FMCG companies, startups, and businesses are looking for category managers. And I have been reading a lot about category management and category managers so that I can get the best of advices for you and your professional growth. I'll be happiest if one of my videos help you achieve success in your career. Remember, recession is temporary, but the time you use to develop yourself is permanent. So never stop learning because the world's best leaders are the world's best learners. And I want each of you watching this video to be the leaders of your life. Hello everyone, this is Devayan and welcome to another video of MBA Talks. In the last video of the series, I talked about category management and how to do it. What are the steps involved in managing your category? And in this video, I'll be talking about 5 best practices in category management. So stay with me till the end to know what are the 5 best practices that can help you and your company in achieving all their category management targets. The first practice is know your who, what, and when. Category management has to be carried out by each and every department to ensure smooth supply chain management. You need to ensure who are the people behind driving that category. You need to train every employee across department and you need to keep taking advices from them regarding the working and betterment of the category you're working for. To know your what's, you need to be trained in different areas. You need to have a full knowledge of the resources used, the vendors providing each resources, their rates, and the demand of the final product in the market. As a category manager, you must undergo training continuously to keep yourself updated with the markets. To know your when, you need to have a good framework and the good knowledge of the entire work process. You need to know the time and duration of each process and continuously monitor and upgrade them. You need to define key performance metrics and continuously check against those metrics. Having a good knowledge of who, what, when will put you in the forefront of operation. You will be able to deal with any problem that arises in the shortest span of time. So knowing your who, what, when becomes an essential practice in category management. The first and foremost thing required for any strategic decision is a good amount of quality data. Thus, after ensuring your who, what, when, you need to focus on data collection and clustering. Let me break down each of the big words in simple terms. Firstly, strategic decision. These decisions are the ones taken at corporate level and affect the entire functioning of the company or group of companies. The kind of decision here includes expanding into other market, starting another business, extending another brand, etc. The outcome of these decisions are passed on top down to the other management and employees. Quantity of data. You need to collect data from large sample of people over a significantly larger period of time. Quality of data. The data that you collect has to be free from any kind of biases. The respondent should respond to the questions without any kind of manipulation. Only then you can rely on the data and only then you can use the data in your further processes. So every decision you take has to be backed by data. The same holds for category management as well. You need to have a ton of data about your vendors, about the raw materials, about the logistic requirements, about market demand, etc. You need to have a standardized mechanism of collection and analysis of this data. Now, what is clustering and why is it important here? Clustering is grouping of dependent variables, which are outcome of independent variables, into similar groups based on some similar characteristics or features. Having a clustering helps you in grouping retailers and grouping your products so that you don't have to treat each retailer, each product differently. It significantly reduces your time and effort in decision making, in your supply chain management, in your marketing activities, and many other things. And these idea about clustering will come from the data that you have collected. The softwares you can use for clustering can be SPSS or R. Now, clustering is a deeper concept in market research, and if you want me to cover that, I will be happy to, but let me know that in the comments that you want a separate video on clustering. I will come up with a separate video on cluster management, on cluster analysis based on your request. The third best practice is floor planning. Floor planning is setting up the floor of your retail outlet so that each category gets the desired exposure for success. Having a good floor plan is the first step of your execution stage. Now, if you have seen the previous video, you will know what is an execution stage. Floor planning is designing the layout of your retail. The floor plan allows navigating your buyers through the product. It helps you in laying the product so that the right product gets the right kind of attention. Because floor planning cannot be undone easily, needs a lot of cost and time in revamping, you need to focus on floor planning while setting up your retail store. While you set up your retail store, while you set up the floor plan, it is wise to take decision based on consumer psychology and data. You need to design the floor plan in such a way that you do not have to rework on it for many years to come. So now you have understood that floor planning is necessary for advertising the products that needs advertising and help in selling each category. Remember, floor planning has to be done when the retail store is new or is undergoing a revamp. The next best practice is assortment planning. Assortment planning is arranging, I repeat, arranging your products based on similar characteristics from the point of view of your target market. Allow me to explain this. Assortment planning is arranging the way you arrange products, way you arrange a particular product like biscuits or soaps or dairy products in your retail. This arrangement should be based on some similar characteristics, not from your point of view. It should not be from the point of view of the company. It should be from the point of view of how customers perceive those characteristics. Like, you may get raw material for manufacturing biscuits and dairy products from the same vendor, but that doesn't mean they have to be put in the same category, because the target market perceives them differently. So they are two different categories from the point of view of your target market. So remember, assortment planning has to be done from the point of view of your customers, of your target market. Assortment planning is done so that when a customer comes to buy your product, is exposed to many similar products in that particular area. Those products often solve the same or similar pain points. So having a good assortment planning helps you give alternatives to your customers. Assortment planning is knowing what products to place where and in which time of the year. For example, if you have a garment store, you will put woolen clothes on display during the winter months and cotton clothes during the summers. You allocate a location in your store based on the sales volume and market demand. Some products that require more visual cues, more visual triggers, they need to be placed at eye level of the customers so that the customer can look at them while purchasing. Now, for what product is this advisable? You must have seen FMCG products like soaps, toothpaste, biscuits. They are arranged in the middle rows in a supermarket. Now, why is it done? Because those products have variety seeking behavior and customers converge on what to buy on the spot at the retail stores. I have made another video on consumer buying process where I explain all these steps. So do check out the video if you haven't seen already. For the products that the decision making journey is shorter and happens in store, you need to present your products and product portfolio where the customers can see and evaluate the alternatives. All the alternatives has to be present in front of them for them to see and evaluate. Products like rice, flour are kept somewhere far because the people who want to buy them do not require visual clues. They already are aware of their need and mostly they have particular brand in mind. Also, rice and flour are bought in bulk quantities. Putting them in the display will take space for many of the other smaller products that would have benefited from the exposure. Assortment planning also helps you manage your resources, manage your inventory by telling you what to buy, when to buy, and how to display your products. Also, if you don't have the product that the customer is looking for, having a good assortment plan can help your customers get an alternative option without having to move to another store. So the time duration spent shopping in your retail store will increase if the assortment planning is good enough. So assortment planning is another best practice that you need to follow if you are a category manager. If your retail store is spread over a large area and customers have to navigate through to reach their particular products, you can ease their experience by providing them a planogram. You must have seen maps and other guides in malls guiding you towards the location of various shops, food court, etc. Well, they are all a kind of planogram. A planogram is a schematic drawing or a visual representation of the entire store. It helps guide you and your customers in locating a particular product, in locating a particular section. It helps you and your customers reach the right location without wasting any time and efforts. Having a planogram helps in providing a satisfying retail experience for your customers. and thus having a planogram becomes another of the best practices in category management. So in this video, we learned that what are the 5 best practices you need to follow to achieve your targets. If you learned something today and want to spread the knowledge, share this video with category manager, people who are looking for jobs in category management, and anyone you think needs to hear this. Let me know in the comments the topics you would like me to cover in my future videos. Also, subscribe to my channel for more such management related videos for you. See you in my next video. Till then, take care, keep marketing.